Actually, today we are going to discuss about a trigonometrical function, and today the tutorial is going to start or solve every question that is related to a trigonometrical function, chapter number 3.2 of 11th class NCERT book. Okay, then let's start. Actually, here two words. First is trigonometry and second is a function. Okay. Then you have already know about a trigonometry in your previous class. And a function I have already discussed this topic in our previous class. If you want, go in my that topic and learn what is a function. Okay, then trigonometry you have already know about. Actually, trigonometry having a six trigonometrical ratio that you have learned in 9th and 10th class: sine, cos, tan, cosec. Okay, and sine theta is a ratio of perpendicular and hypotenuse, and with regard to angle, like as if I will tell about a right angle triangle, okay, and A, B and C, and this is a theta and this is actually a 90 degree, then this is a length, this is a breadth, and this is a hypotenuse. Then actually sine theta is equal to what? You know very well that sine theta is equal to L by H. Okay? And cosec theta is a opposite, I guess. Is equal to H by L. Okay, and you have already know about cos theta, B by S, and sec. Okay, and tan theta is equal to L by B, and cot B by L. Actually, these are six trigonometrical ratio you have already learned in our previous class 9th and 10th. That's why today in this class we will not discuss more about these six trigonometrical ratio. Only we will learn here about a function, trigonometrical function, and sign of the trigonometrical function. Okay, then let's start our class. Then first I am going to discuss here about the first topic that is related to this chapter. First topic is what? First topic is the sign of the trigonometrical function. Okay. Then you have already know about the quadrant. Okay. Quadrant you have already know. That you know very well that what is this? This is this is called a first quadrant, this is called a second, third, and fourth. Then one thing always keep in your mind whenever you are going to solve this chapter, that one trick, that is today I am giving to you. That trick is very general trick and everybody that is related to maths, they know it. Okay. And what is a trick? Trick name is add sugar to coffee. Okay. Then add means what? A. And A means all the trigonometrical function in a first quadrant will be positive. Whereas sugar means S sign is always positive in a second quadrant, and rest of that trigonometrical ratio like as or cos, tan, cot, these are rest is minus. Okay, always keep this trick in your mind. It will help you to solve the every question that is related to this chapter. Third one is always tan means 2 means T. Tan is positive in a third quadrant always, and rest of that is negative, whereas the cos is positive in a fourth quadrant and rest of that is negative. Then this is all about a trigonometrical sign. Okay. Then always keep in your mind of first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. When which trigonometrical ratio is positive and negative in which quadrant, it is very important you keep in your mind every time. That will help you every time whenever you are going to deal with a trigonometrical function question. Then this trick always keep in your mind. Now I am going to give another type of some formulas. Always keep in your mind because it will help you always. This formula is cos minus theta is equal to only cos theta, and rest of that like as sin minus theta will be minus sin theta, tan minus theta will be minus tan theta, cot minus theta is equal to minus cot theta. Okay, and sec minus theta is equal to and cosec. Only always these things you keep in your mind, that cos minus theta would be always cos theta and rest of that will be negative. Like you can see here, this is only a positive and rest of that is negative. Then always this formula always keep in your mind. Next one is equal to plus minus sin x. Okay, whether a plus or minus, it will be a sin x. Means if you are going to deal with any triangle, any theta in the term of 2n pi plus theta, then plus or minus in every time the sign of the sin theta will be a positive. Okay, then this is also an important formula, always keep in your mind. Second thing, cos 2n plus pi plus x is equal to cos x, tan 2n plus pi plus x then is equal to tan x. In every trigonometrical ratio, sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, coses, always keep in your mind what? That sine means a trigonometrical ratio when it is calculated in the term of the 2n pi plus theta, then answer will be a sin theta. Okay, then this formula is very important. That's why firstly I am giving you this formula, because this is very important to solve the question that is related to this chapter. Okay, now we are coming a fact that is very important to know it in this chapter is a trigonometrical function. Okay, come. Actually, what is a trigonometrical function? When in our previous class we are doing or discuss about a functions, then remind that I was telling to you always a function having one range or a one domain. And what is a domain? Domain is a input. What you are going to input it is called a domain. Whereas what is the output is called a range. Like that, if we observe the sin theta graph, then you will able to find out a domain and range. That's why come on a screen and we discuss it. What is a sign of what is a domain and range of a sin theta? Then come. You can see here. What is this? This is actually a sin theta graph. Okay, it's clear. Then sin theta graph, when you are watching or observing a sin theta graph, means this graph, what you are finding? You are finding that always can see here. This is a sin theta graph, sin x graph. Then here you can see that the range means output is always between 1 and minus 1. You can see actually the graph of the sin theta like as a wave. Okay, now this is like as a wave. You can see here, this is like as a wave. Actually the range of this wave is where? You find out this is between 1 and minus 1. And what is a permittable input? Means you see here, one thing is very important when you observe a sin theta graph, then every pi intervals, the theta means the sin theta remains previous. Like as you can see here that pi again the value of the pi is rest. Like as here 2 pi, 3 pi, meant what you observe here? You observe that in every pi interval, the value of the sine theta remain unchanged. Then this is, so then you define it, what is a domain and range. Range is very easy by observing this graph. Range is 1 to minus 1. You can see here 1 to minus 1. Whereas the domain is all reals. Then domain of the sine x will be all reals. Okay, whereas range in a closed interval 1 and then this is a way of find out the domain and range. Like that you come in a cos theta. This is a cos theta graph. Then you see here what is a range and domain. Then you see here like this a sin theta. The graph of the cos theta is like as a wave. Okay. Then means what? Means the range is remain same like as a sin theta, whereas domain is also every reals. It's all reals. Okay now. But one thing is very observing here. Then every 2n plus 1 pi by 2 means 2n plus 1 pi by 2 interval, like as you can see here, in a pi by 2, okay, 3 pi by 2, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, and like that. The value of cos theta is remain same. Okay now. Then always this is very little bit knowledge, and always keep it in your mind, and when you will solve the question of this multiple function, you will feel that every question is very easy. Okay. Then what is a range? Actually domain will be the cos theta domain will be what? Cos x domain will be all reals. Whereas the range will be close interval 1 and minus 1. Okay, understand. Now let's come in next one. Tan theta. Okay now, this is a tan theta graph. You see here, this is a tan theta graph, and you can see here the domain and range. You will find out the domain is always all reals except x is not equal to plus 1 pi by, except it all the value will add in a tan theta. Like as then you can write in your mathematical term. How will you write it? The domain. How I am telling this? Then you can see here pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. You see here in every 2n plus 1 pi by 2 term, the graph is disappear. Then in this situation, what you will say? You will say that collection of all those x such that x will x means it is very clear that domain of tan theta, tan x you can say, tan x will be collection of all those x such that x belongs to real. Whereas x is not equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, where all the n belongs to integer. Then this is our domain. You can see it is a very clear from our graph that in every 2n plus 1 pi by 2 is like as pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, the graph is not appear here. What it shows? It shows that domain, the x belongs to R, but x will not, the graph we will not find in the point of 2n plus 1 pi by 2, where n is belongs to an integer. Then this is our domain, and where is the, what is the range? Range is very clear. The range will be all reals. You can say that in reals, every reals you are taking a range is reals. Then this is a domain and range of the tan theta. Whereas if I am going to tell about cot theta, then you can see the figure of that cot theta. Then in the cot theta, everything is like as a tan theta, but graph direction is being changed. That's why domain and range will be also changed. Where domain will be, you are saying that in every pi by 2, it is getting a graph. It is getting a point in a domain. Whereas a n pi means pi, 2 pi, this is not getting a value. That's why domain of the cot theta, or cot x you can say, cot x is the collection of all those x such that x belongs to all reals, whereas x is not appears where n pi. Whereas every n belongs to an integer. Then this is your domain and range. You are so very clear. Every reals will be your range. Okay, you can see through the graph. Okay, now let's sec and come on a sec and cosec. Sec and cosec. You can see here, this is a sec. Then what are you observing here? you are observing here that the sec theta graph only not taken a range between 1 and -1, and everywhere it is getting a range. You can see here through a graph. Only minus and 1 plus minus 1 it is not getting a value. That's why a range it is very clear, all the reals except 1 and -1. Whereas if I am telling about a domain, then domain you can see here that domain will be what? Domain of the sec theta, sec x will be, you can see here where it is taking a value, then in every in every 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1 means here. These are getting a point value, whereas rest of that is nothing. That's why the domain will be collection of all those x, whereas x belongs to R and x will not equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, where all n belongs to an integer. Like that you can see here your cosec theta. Then you are taking this, then all reals only except 1 and -1 it is a range. Okay, and if I am telling about a domain, then domain is in every pi, means every n pi it is getting a value. That's why domain will be what? Collection of all those x such that x belongs to reals, whereas x is not equal to n pi, where n will be belongs to z, and like that range is also all the reals except 1 and -1. Then this is your whole about the range and the domain, and when you will observe a graph, then automatically you can find out the range and domain. You observe it and find out the range and domain. It is very clear. Okay now? Then okay. Then now we are coming on for exercise. Okay now? Then exercise. First is trigonometrical function. Okay, trigonometrical function, you know that sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cotec having a sum, domain and a range. Because it is a function, that's why. Then what is the domain and range I have already discussed. You know very well about this formula. Sin theta is equal to what? In your previous class, it is very easy. In your previous class, you know it. What is the sin theta? What is the cos theta? What is the tan theta? And one thing is very important to always keep in your mind, that what is actually a value of sin 0? You know that sin 0 0 and cos 0 1. Always keep in your mind and you do it. It will be very easy to solve it. Then pi by 6, what is the name? Pi by 4, pi by 3, pi by 2, pi, and this is a table is very important. In your previous class you have already learned, that's why I have not discussed more about it. Okay, then what is this? I have already given you a concept and trick regarding to in which quadrant the trigonometrical function we are like that. Like that you know very well that in a first quadrant all the trigonometrical function will be a positive sign. In a sin theta in a second quadrant will be a positive. Okay, of that will be a negative. Okay, like as always keep in your mind that cos theta, tan theta in second quadrant, third quadrant will be a positive. Tan theta, yes, third quadrant, sorry, third quadrant will be a positive, rest of that is negative. Tan theta and cot theta, like as you know very well, the sin theta, the opposite of the sin theta opposite is cosec theta, tan theta opposite is cot theta, and sec theta opposite is cos theta opposite is sec theta. That's why cos theta will be positive, sec theta will be a positive, rest of that will be negative. I have already discussed in our trick. Okay, now add sugar to coffee. Always keep in your mind and do your practice. Okay. Next one is a graph, and I have already discussed about these graphs. What is our domain and range? Okay. This up now. These are a different type of graph or trigonometric ratio. Okay. Okay. Up now we are going to discuss with you a question answer of 3x3.2 chapter, and I think that if everything you will keep in your mind, like as first what I am given you a trick, add sugar in coffee. First things, in first quadrant all will be a positive, in second quadrant only sin will be a positive, in third quadrant tan and cot will be a positive, and in fourth quadrant cos and sec will be a positive. Always keep in your mind and do your questions, it will be a more easy for you. Okay, then let's start and come on screen and do a discuss about a question number first. Cos theta, cos x is equal to minus 1 by 2. X lie in where? X lie in the third quadrant, and you have to find out every trigonometrical function. Let's come on a screen and we solve it, and I think that you will now able to solve every questions in 1 second. Come. Question, what is the question? Question is cos x is equal to minus 1 by 2. You know, na? Then x will like third quadrant. Then you have to find out all that trigonometrical ratio. Then it is very easy, you know. All will be a positive here. Sin, tan, sin and cosec will be a positive. Okay, tan and cot will be a positive, and cos and sec will be a positive. Okay, now this only formula keep in your mind and solve it. Okay, now then you know very well that cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2. Means what? Cos theta will be minus 1 by 2, and you know very well that cos theta in a fourth quadrant only a positive. Means here second quadrant, third quadrant will be a negative. That's why it is a good. Question is good. You try to understand. Sec you know very well. The opposite of cos will be a sec. Then minus 2. Clear? And third one you come sin theta. Then you know our formula na, root under 1 minus cos square theta is equal to sin theta. Sorry, x. Here the theta is not, here the theta is called s. That's why here x. You solve it, you will find out root 3 minus 2, and will be a negative. Because the first quadrant and the question is called third quadrant. Only tan will be here positive, all of that will be a negative. Okay, now? Then, okay, minus root 3 by 2. Okay, and you know very well the sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. Then comes sin theta sin x will be minus root 3 by 2. Then tan x will be sin theta by cos theta, sin x by cos x, sorry. Then sin x will be minus 1 by 2 into 2 by root 3 minus 2 2. Then 1 by root 3 will be a tan theta, and then tan x will be a positive here, whereas the cot x will be opposite of tan, that's why root 3. Then it's so much easy. Only keep in your mind which quadrant in which trigonometrical ratio having which side, and all the question you do, and it will be very easy to solve it. Now let's come another question that is given here, and I think that if I am telling about a question answer, sorry, then question answer is very easy, and this chapter is actually very easy, I know that. And question number 6, all the questions you do like that, that is do in first question like that you do of 5 questions, second, third and 4 and 5, and all is same like as first. And 6 number questions, you question is sine 765 degree. Okay, now then how we will find out, okay, value of the trigonometrical function. Okay, then come. Then sine, you know that sine 2n plus pi plus x is equal to sine f, you know. I have already given you a formula. Then sine 765 you convert into term of 2 and pi, then what you will find out? 2 into 180 degree plus what you will find out, then 45 degree will be this sin 765 degree. Okay, then you convert it to n plus y plus x. Okay, then you will find out this, what is this? Then sin 2n plus 5 x is equal to sin 45 degree, and you know very well in that table that sin 45 degree is equal to 1 by root 2. Then answer will be 1 by root 2. That you is like this, you convert all the trigonometrical degree into term of 2n plus pi plus minus x, and then you solve it. It will be very easy to solve that. Okay, now then okay. Now I am going to wrap up my session here, and I think that you have understand this trigonometrical function in a very crystal clear manner, and I know very well that I have given you also a trick. Then when the graph will appears in front of your eyes, then you will be able to find out determine the range and domain of that function, of every trigonometrical function. That is a way. Always keep in your mind that when you are going to choose a domain and range, always graph you keep in your mind and solve it. All the questions will be in very easy manner you solve it. Okay, and actually in this chapter trigonometrical functions. This is a very important chapter with regard to a trigonometrical function. This is actually a first step of mathematics in order to a trigonometrical function. Then always keep this some few tips in your mind and solve every question. I assured you, and you will be able to solve every question. Okay, then bye to all, and I'm now going to wrap up my session here. I will meet with you in next class with new concepts. Okay, thanks.